What's going on, everybody? And welcome to our 2022 webinar here in April for summer camp at Camp Raven Knob, covering topics for both Cub Resident Camp and Scouts BSA Resident Camp. We welcome everybody here tonight. So those of you that are with us now, go ahead and drop in the chat bar what troop you're with and where you're from, so we can kind of get an idea of who's joining us tonight. We know it's a big night, especially those North Carolinians that are here with us. And Ash Stemke, a proud graduate of UNC, is here with us as well, our program director, and we have Bradley Kerpiche, our current Wahissa Lodge chief, online with us, and we do expect Max to join us here in a little bit. But we're excited for everybody to be here. We know it's big game night, so we may not have some of the turnout we've had in weeks past, but this is really just to give you a quick update. We do not predict that this meeting will last too long, hopefully about 30 minutes or so, and we're going to get out so we can get ready, eat some pizza, and watch the big game and cheer for our hometown team, even though some of you may want to root for those Jayhawks out in Kansas. But anyways, or we may have some ABC teams out there. You know, anybody but Carolina is my favorite. Can't stand them. Anyways, but welcome here tonight. We're going to go over a couple of things just to kind of give you a rundown. We're going to go over where we are with COVID right now, as our governor has lifted some restrictions and has kind of put the ball back in our court on some things. Go over where we are with deposits, how we can help you with sessions that are full and things like that, being able to understand that. Ash is going to go over some required documents that we need to be looking at and our check-in procedures again. Bradley is going to go over our Order of the Arrow needs for the summer. If you have scouts that wish to be called out, scouts and leaders that want to be called out at our OA ceremony on Wednesday night, he's going to go over those details. And that's pretty much going to be it. So as we go through the night, be sure to drop questions that you may have in the chat, or you are welcome to email us at registration@ravenknob.com, or you can reach me at hunter.day@ravenknob.com. We're going to monitor both those emails tonight. So please just let the questions fly as we go through, and we'll answer it as we go through or at the end. So great to see some folks on here from all over the place. And we are ready for a tremendous summer. We're ordering materials and getting things going. This past weekend at camp, we had 800 scouts, Cub Scouts, and families join us for a new event. And it was exciting to see everybody coming out of the winter, enjoying the sunshine and what Camp Raven Knob has to offer. So I was excited to kind of get the water back on, get camp alive again, and get ready for June and July with all you folks. So what we want to do now is talk about where we are with COVID. In the past few weeks, Governor Cooper here in North Carolina lifted some of the overnight camp restrictions. We no longer at this point have mask mandates from the government. They gave us a lot of obviously recommendations and things like that. But for this summer, at this point, we are looking at kind of getting back to a normal summer overall, with some restrictions that we'll have in place, mostly from just a crowd control standpoint. We are still looking at doing 2-shift meals, but not having the tent outside. But we are not looking at having a mask requirement. Of course, if folks want to wear a mask, they will be provided if anybody would like to wear one. We will have those on hand there, and welcome to bring your own. If any folks have any questions about where we are with COVID right now, that's pretty much it. We still are going to require at this point our COVID at-risk form for each participant, which Ash is going to go over here in a little bit as part of our required documents. It's just a document understanding that COVID is still relevant and can happen. Now, as we move forward, I think we're at a really good place in the world right now, or at least in the United States and North Carolina, as it stands with COVID-19. But that can change as we've seen it. If things change in our health and safety team and the government here in North Carolina changes things up a little bit, that may happen, and we'll let you know as quickly as possible if those things tend to occur. So that's where we are now. Anybody has any questions, feel free to reach out, drop it in the chat, or reach out to me on an individual basis, and I'll be happy to cover anything. with that being said, we'll get into some of what's going on right now in Tenaroo. As most of you are aware, registration opened up, let's see, a little over 20 days ago, just at 20 days ago on March 15th. And it was a booming day. I think we slowed the system down a little bit, which is something we try to prepare for. But no matter what, we've got so many people in that system, it slows down some. And with that, sometimes things fill up on that day. And as time progresses, things fill up. So I want to let you guys know, and we've showed you this before, but want to show you where you can find what sessions are available and which ones are full as you add new scouts or change things around for a scout. So I'm going to share my screen real quick. Bradley, I'm going to drop you out of here real quick. Alrighty. And we're going to share my screen. Alrighty. So as you go onto the Raven Knob page here, under the Scouts BSA tab, just click on that tab right there, and you'll be pulled up to the main page here for Scouts BSA. You can see our ticker here going to June 19th, week 1. We're only 75 days out, so we are getting close. But as you're here, you can see a button right here, session availability. When you click on that, you can see where we stand with sessions. All right. As you can see, week 1 is our typical busiest week of the summer and where things fill up quickly. And you can go down through here and see how many spots are available, how many spots are not available, what's full, all that kind of stuff. So use this as a resource to help with your unit. If you have folks that still need to register or crossovers that are coming in, use that as a resource going forward. And you can also see adult sessions here too. We do invite adults to participate in a lot of our courses, so be sure to check that out as well. But this is a great hint. And as you hopefully know, your deposits, $150 per scout, could have been been paid from February 15th until today, and moving forward, you'll be able to do that. There is a timeline coming up, or a deadline here in April, that we like folks to hit, but we understand that you can add more scouts. You may have a scout come to you in mid-May and say, actually, I'm not going to soccer camp, sign me up to come to Raven Knob. And we're able to do that. That April 15th date, what it does is it gives us an idea on where we are with materials and what to expect for the summer as we start ordering things and with program materials and food and things of that nature. So as much as you can get in ahead of time is going to be great. Help us and help you down the road. All righty. To talk a little bit about final payments as well. Your final payment is really due by the time you get to camp. I think in the Leader's Guide, it's really a week out. But if you need to bring a check to camp or pay at camp, you are welcome to do so. A lot of times, your final bill will change over that course of the week. If you maybe have a leader that signs up for CPR, add an extra photo, change a kid out of a course that has a fee, things like that. So you may have a balance due at the end of your week, which we'll follow up with. But that final payment, you are welcome to pay that as between now and the time that you leave. But go ahead and settle up before you do get to camp or at check-in at camp so we can get you squared away. All right. At this point, I'm going to turn it over to Ash Stemke, who's going to talk to us about our required documents, check-ins of that nature, so we can make sure everybody's squared away with what kind of paperwork we need. Ash?
All right. Thank you, Hunter. Hey, everybody. Just want to go over a few things about the check-in process. Like last year, we're going to have our check-in be sort of staggered throughout the afternoons on Sundays. And when camp gets closer, we'll send out an email so you can sign up for a time for when you'd like to arrive on that Sunday afternoon. When you arrive at camp, you'll go directly to your campsite, and there some staff from your troop guide for the week will meet you there and eventually guide you on your camp tour throughout camp. That will involve going to sort of a regional check-in station around camp, where there'll be a team from the administration staff to handle paperwork and make sure all those things are handled, and also a team from our health staff to do the health check-ins, as we've done in years past. As far as the forms to have, these things you are welcome to send in advance. You can bring them the day of, but certainly doing the express health check-in in advance would be the way to go. As far as which forms you need to have, the best place to go for that is under the Scouts BSA menu on our website where it says Leader's Guide and Forms. If you click there, there's a lot of different forms on this page right here that we recommend you kind of go ahead and get working on. Of course, there's just a link to the generic BSA medical form. But probably the most important one is that medical form. That's the standard BSA medical form, of course, for everything in scouting, and all participants need to have that. Adults and youth, parts A, B, and C. Part C is that one, of course, that involves the physical from a medical professional, and that does need to be completed and signed by a physician prior to arrival at camp. One thing about that, as far as when that physical has to take place, it is an annual medical form. As far as what we're able to accept there, as long as that physical exam and the date on the form is within a year of when you're at camp, it's good to go. And one thing Hunter was pointing out to me earlier is that it's good through the end of the month of that physical. So if you're coming on July 10th and you have a physical that was dated at any point in July of last year, that's good for the whole month. But if your physical was in August, we can't take that. Well, actually, no, August would be good. Sorry, the opposite way. If your physical was in May, for example, May of 2021, we're not going to be able to accept that over the course of summer 2022. It would need to have happened since then.
Ash, I will mention for Cub Resident Camp, you do not have to have that Part C filled out. Just parts A and B for Cub Resident Camp due to there not being there as long. More than the 72-hour rule that now.
Correct. Cub Resident Camp is just a 72-hour endeavor, and therefore they do not have to have Part C for that, just Parts A and B. So moving on from the health form, another one that's down there, this is actually right there, the outdoor parental release form. That one's right there. This is a thing that we do based on some North Carolina laws. And it basically is another form giving parental release for participation in various outdoor programs that we have. So that's just another thing that each scout will need to have signed by their parents or guardians. Those are best turned in with your health form. And the one more form we'll need for each scout besides that is back on the Leader's Guide and Form page, which is the COVID at-risk form, which is down where it says Summer Camp at-risk statement. There we go. This one here is our standard form that expresses the risks that come with COVID-19, particularly in a summer camp environment. So every scout and adult will need to have the health form and the COVID at-risk form done, and then all the scouts will need to have the parental release form as well. Once again, you can bring these things with you when you arrive, or as we might recommend, do express health check-in. There's some information about this in our Leader's Guide, but the strategy there would be to mail these things in, specifically mail copies of them in to us prior to your arrival at camp. We ask for about a week notice with that. If you do that, we'll be able to process all those forms and kind of pre-screen them before you arrive and help speed up your Sunday check-in. So that can be a helpful thing there. Some other forms on this page that you or your unit may be interested in is our swimming check form. That's a little bit down under the miscellaneous ones down there, where it just says there's a couple different things in that packet. But notably, this packet here has a number of different forms, ordering photos and such. But if you scroll down through this a little ways, there's a thing there that has a swim check form. Press the back button for a minute, or I guess get out of this. We can look more at swim check here in a second on a different thing. Also, the special diet form is in there. There's a separate link to that right there. The special diet form is for any scouts or leaders that have dietary needs, such as being vegetarian or gluten-free, or any sort of allergies to eggs or fish or milk or whatever it might be. Feel free to let us know about those things. Our dining hall is pretty willing to work with you. If there's special foods that you need brought, we can work with you with that as well. Those are all things to indicate on there.
Yeah, Ash, and I'll go ahead and touch on that a little bit, as I may have in the past.
Sure.
With special diets, we do have a good staff that's going to do our best to take care of anybody with special diets, and we know at times you have parents that are a little bit hesitant to send their kid to camp because of maybe an allergy that is airborne or very difficult to manage. And we do have a good team that's able to handle that. But we do ask if a scout does have some serious allergies, food allergies, that they are welcome to bring some food with them. We do have some dry storage and refrigerator freezer space that a scout can put stuff in. We only ask this for the folks with special diets. We don't have unlimited room there, but folks are welcome to do that. And if you have parents that are hesitant or want to talk to me about what our staff does to help our special diets, please reach out to me. I'm happy to talk with that parent one-on-one if need be. So feel free to share my email or phone number so we can talk with them. It's about once a week that I talk with a parent about how we can best help their scout. So feel free to do that as we move forward. It seems every day, allergies are becoming more and more relevant with our kids. And so we want to best serve them as best as we can at Raven Knob each summer.
Hunter, there was one question in the chat that just popped up about the special diet forms. It says, do you want the special diet forms in advance prior to check-in or just show up at check-in?
Right. We would prefer that special diet form to come in at least 1 week prior. I think on the form it says by June 1st. We can handle 1 week prior. If you get that to us, that way we can prepare and get if there's anything crazy going on with the supply chain, we can hopefully get it by that point. Couple of other questions here. We do try to change things up for our gluten-free folks. We try to give them an option of what the meal is, and dairy-free as well. We try to give them options through the week as to what they're going to have. It's usually not the same thing every meal. And then to answer the other question about menu, that menu is ever changing. As you guys know, the supply chain is crazy. What we order on weekends right now for 150 people is becoming difficult to order for. So as we get into it, some of that menu will stay the same based on what's on there. And some of that could change literally the day before based off of what we're able to get in our hands. So work with us on that. We will try to have a official 2022 menu here in the next few weeks. But at this point, we're just going to have to stick with that 21 menu until we're able to meet with our food provider and get the full details on where we are.
Sure.
Yep.
I'd like to say one more thing about the swim checks. If you could go up under the program tab up there, I think that's probably the easiest way to get to it under aquatics. There should be a thing in there over on the right now that says swim checks right there towards the top in the menu. There you go. There's our swim check page, which is just ravennub.com/swim tests. And here's sort of lots of information about how the swim test process works. There's the form right there that you can download that has a place to write all of your scout swim tests. The idea here is that as you are preparing for camp, if you'd like to do swim tests prior to coming to camp, that will save you a lot of time on Sunday, not having to jump in the lake necessarily. So if your unit wants to do those, this is some information on how to do that and what our expectations are. You can fill out that form and you can even upload it right here. If you scroll down the page a little bit, you'll see there's a little thing here that says type in your unit, email, things like that, what week you're coming. And there's a place down near the bottom to upload the file. So that form, once you filled it out, just upload a PDF of it. And that will be delivered to our aquatic staff and we'll have it there waiting for you, buddy tags filled out and whatnot. When you arrive. Otherwise, we'll be kind of doing all that on Sunday, and you'll need to go down to the waterfront as part of your check-in process to do swim tests. So that's kind of what's happening there as far as those. There's plenty of forms to do, but they're all kind of on that one page. And if you've got questions about how to fill them out or what's supposed to go where, definitely drop us an email at registration@ravennub.com or put something in the chat now. We'll be glad to address that.
Yeah. And we will take this form. This is honestly our preferred method. We know some folks can't get it done before camp, but it definitely helps with your check-in process on Sunday if you're able to get these swim checks done. So I see there in a chat that it says somewhere they were made to do them at camp. We would much prefer it be done this way. So if that happened in the past, it must have been some sort of miscommunication. But this dramatically helps with the flow of Sunday check-in. Especially for your unit having to change back and forth and things like that as we move along. So just keep that in mind and we'll work with you as best we can.
That's all for me.
All right, Ash, I appreciate it. All righty. We're going to hop over here. I'm going to stop sharing my screen. All right. We're going to put Bradley in here. Again, Bradley is our 2022 Lodge Chief, and he's going to talk with us about the OA call out ceremony that we have on Wednesday night and all the details that you need to know with that. So, Bradley, I'm turning it over to you.
All right. So, hey, everybody. Like you said, I'm Bradley. I have the honor of serving as the Lodge Chief this year. And so, just a couple notes to know, some key points about this year's Wednesday night ceremonies is we're happy to be allowing visitors as we would normally in a regular summer. No more of the ticket system and no more worrying about no visitors allowed. We will be having open doors on Wednesday nights. So, that's something exciting to look forward to. And then along with that, if you're interested in having your troop candidates tapped out at our Wednesday night ceremony and they are out of council, they're not in Old Hickory, please email to chief@wahissa.org between now and your week of summer camp. Just a list of the candidates' names, and then that should be approved by either the lodge chief or the lodge advisor or the staff advisor. Just saying that we have permission to tap out those candidates at your respective week of summer camp. And then along with that, I highly recommend that any leaders that are at summer camp to come up to the administration building sometime during the early part of the week and check on the tap out list and just make sure that all your candidates are on that list. And so if you check on that Monday or Tuesday, we can hopefully get that stuff fixed before Wednesday. So all that's ready to go for the ceremony on Wednesday night. And then again, same thing for in-council troops. We should have all your information correct in our system, but obviously mistakes can be made sometimes. Forms can be mistaken. So if there's something we messed up on our end or we just missed a name, please let us know. If you see that on the tap list, we can look into that and get that fixed so we have all that information we need. And I think that's pretty much everything I have as for ceremonies.
Yeah, Bradley, and I appreciate you bringing up. We are planning to kind of get back to normal for those folks that have been with us before, as far as what a Wednesday night has typically been, which is our family night, where we welcome in families to come in, have meals in the campsite. A lot of local units or folks that are in the local area sometimes will have family come in. They'll have food brought in by those families and eat in the campsite, and choose not to eat in the dining hall. And at this point, what we're planning on doing is that again, for folks that wouldn't have family coming up, don't worry, we'll get you squared away with food and all that. It may be delivered to your campsite. We might have it in the dining hall. Still working out the details on that part. But folks that are coming from far away, we also have folks that go into town and maybe get pizzas or something of that nature to bring back in and have something from outside of camp for the week or for that night. Wednesday night again is a big night. We try to put on a great campfire for all of our guests, and hopefully you guys will find that enjoyable. We have like an opening portion that is typical to just any scout campfire, and then we have our Order the Arrow ceremony. If you do have folks that come up, normally we are wrapped up about 9:15 to 9:30, depending on the week. And we do ask for volunteers. Bradley, if you want to talk about that here in a second about how that works. But it's a great campfire. The trading post will be open for visitors to go in and get a snack or buy a souvenir and things like that. But Bradley, if you want to talk about asking for volunteers for the OA ceremony, that'd be great.
Yeah, so any youth that is at summer camp that is in the Order of the Arrow has the opportunity to participate in our Wednesday night ceremonies. We have torch bearers, which exactly what it sounds. They hold the torches in the ceremony. They go through the arena and kind of are a big part of the way the ceremony works if you've never seen it before. And then we'll probably be having paddlers or rowers on canoes. They'll come in alongside of our chiefs that are coming in for that week. And so we'll have scouts that are interested in canoeing or something like that, especially if your scout's taking the canoeing merit badge. That's a great opportunity. And so if anyone's interested in that, you can find me or any of the other lodge officers during the early part of the week. And then we'll get you down and we'll practice on Tuesday afternoon and then Wednesday afternoon after lunch, just to make sure everybody knows what's going on during the ceremony make sure everybody gets there, feels confident about what they're doing. And I think that's pretty much all for
Cool.
that.
Awesome, Bradley. Well, we appreciate all your help and your leadership, working with the lodge and getting everybody a neat call out ceremony for camp. So appreciate you being on, and we'll talk soon.
Thank you.
Yep. I'm going to add Ash back in as we work through questions and things like that. Couple of other things for everyone. I did see a question about that COVID-19 form that is front and back. That would be fine, just having that second copy, that back page signed. As long as everybody understands what's going on there, but that would be fine to help with your paper count there. Yeah, so David, just a letter from your lodge chief, lodge advisor, or scout executive, email letter, however you want to get that to us. We'll get that in. It is not, we do not have a form online for that, since it needs to be a letter that is sent from, letter or email, sent from your, lodge advisor, your inductions advisor, lodge chief, scout executive, something in that nature that can certify that those election results are squared away, so we don't have any issues on our end. As we go down through here, just a few more things that we're going to touch on. We are in a position, we are pretty well staffed for the summer. We do have a couple of positions that could be available for folks that may be 21 years of age or older. We pretty much have everything squared away, but would love to have a few more older staff. So if you know a scout, or somebody in college, or even yourself, no matter how old you are, that want to come and hang out with us all that summer and work with us at Raven Knob, feel free to reach out, as we could definitely use a few extra hands of those 21-year-olds, which are difficult to come by in the camp setting at times. But otherwise, we're pretty squared away, and we're squared away as we are, but it's just nice to have some extra adult leadership on hand. As you come to camp, we do love having volunteers that'll work with us through the week. And that's leaders helping us either teach sessions, or helping our ranger staff, helping in our administration building, kind of whatever you want to assist with. We do have the Scoutmaster Merit Badge, which is designed to get Scoutmasters out there in different parts of camp to assist us. And some of those are working in the dining hall for a meal or two, helping at the trading post, helping with the ranger staff, things like that. But if you're a carpenter or have carpenters in your troop that want to come and do a little work on the side with our ranger staff, that would be great help for us, as we normally have different summertime projects going on, building things and whatnot. So feel free to bring some tools and come help us. Our ranger Jeff and our illustrious ranger crew would be happy to have you, and we might let you drive one of the check engine fleet vehicles, our beautiful line of camp trucks that we have, as we call the check engine fleet. But we also take help with our merit badges. Some of our instructors are not professionals in that merit badge, and it's always nice to have somebody from the practical world to be able to come out and help with aviation merit badge, or have a firefighter help with fire safety and things of that nature. So if you have a high interest or work in those fields, we love to have that assistance with some of our sessions. All right, some good questions coming in, Sean. If you are arriving on Saturday afternoon, if you're running late, you're coming early, doesn't matter. We're going to be able to get you squared away, whether we're there greeting you with a smile, or we get you the directions on how to get to the campsite and get settled in for the evening. If you guys have the need to arrive on Saturday, we do ask that you try to get there about noontime. If you come a little earlier, you might have to hang out as we are moving stuff around until noon and getting our staff out of there for a little break. But anytime we've had folks arrive between noon and 2 a.m. So whatever works for you all, we're going to get you squared away before you get there. And if you get there while everybody's still awake, we're going to come by, check on you, make sure everything's squared away. But all you need to do is shoot us an email when your anticipated arrival time will be. And if you're running late along the way, as that tends to happen, just give myself a call or email us, as we are constantly monitoring that all summer long. So that's all you need to do, Sean. So as folks, if anybody's coming in on a Saturday arrival, which we have a lot of our folks travel from a distance to get there. Also, just go ahead and mention we do have several units that are planning to come by train or plane this summer. As you start to book those details, be sure to let me know as soon as you find out. I know some folks here recently have gone ahead and booked their train tickets. But if you are coming in by plane or train, let me know as quickly as possible so we can get it on the schedule and start to work out the logistics of getting you from the airport or the Amtrak station. Looks like we may have some folks on here with our Cub Resident Camp, and I will mention for those that are not involved with our Cub Resident Camp is that we do have space available. If you guys have a pack back home, a feeder pack or a pack that you work with often from the Scouts BSA side, we would love to have them attend the Cub Scout Resident Camp on June 15th to 18th at Raven Knob. So be sure to share those details, which you can get on the website. There's a registration form on there. It does not require a deposit to put down, but we would love to have some folks come. Also going to mention our provisional program. All Scouts are welcome to come back for a second week or third week or fourth week here at Raven Knob. Sorry, my doorbell's going off here. Second, third, or fourth week, whatever it may be with our Raven Repeat program, or if they're not able to come with their unit, they can sign up as a provisional scout online, and it just takes a few moments to do that. You can pay on there as well. And you have some...
Yeah, sure. I can address a couple things if you need to go check the door. So one question that just came up in the chat asked about our Raven Scouts program. Do the Raven Scouts have an overnighter? The answer is no, they don't. Our Raven Scouts program meets for 3 hours each morning. It's sort of an all-morning session. It's a great program for first-year scouts, particularly those age 11 and 12 that are just brand new to the troop and kind of need to work on some rank advancement for tenderfoot and second class. That Raven Scouts program does not have an overnight experience. It's the scouts will be staying in the campsite with their troop each night. One benefit of the Raven Scouts program at Raven Knob is that in addition to doing rank advancement things in the morning, those scouts are able to sign up for merit badge sessions like everybody else in the afternoons. I remember my first summer on camp, my first summer at camp as a camper, I did Raven Scouts in the morning and a few different merit badges in the afternoon. I think I did swimming and weather and something else. I don't really remember, but it was always a good time. And I remember feeling pretty proud as an 11-year-old to come home from camp, not only with some rank advancement, but also with the first couple of merit badges on my sash. It's been a little while since I was 11, but here we are.
Understand that. So, all right. I think we've pretty much answered everything in the chat. Just go ahead and put in your calendar. Our next couple of webinars are coming up. The next one will be on Monday, May 2nd, 6:30 p.m. And the one following that will be on June 6th. So it's going to be shorter ones like this. Just kind of throw in some reminders at you and a couple of updates that we're getting along the way. So we appreciate everybody being on here. Tammy, if you haven't got that location, shoot me an email. We can double check that. We were going through and updating those in Tenaroo last week. So if one got missed, let me know and we can get that squared away. But other than that, we appreciate everybody being here. Questions, shoot us an email, give us a call, and we look forward to seeing you guys starting in looks like a little over 75 days. So thanks for being here and enjoy the big game tonight. Thanks.
Woo.